Behind me is a 3 foot by 6 foot by 11-inch deep raised garden bed. It's made out of two 2x4s that are 8 feet long and 6 cedar pickets. Stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. So the first step in this project is to get rid of the dog ears. In order to use these boards, I need them to be square. So I've set a saw block. That's what this is. Basically, you clamp a board in a certain spot on your saw. That way all I have to do is just slide this one in, put it up against this back wall, put it up against the side wall, and make your cut. Then you're ready for the next board. So the board that you're left with when you're done is about 71 inches long. A 71-inch board, so that's going to give you roughly 35.5 inches at the halfway mark. So I'm just going to mark a 35.5-inch mark so that I can cut a couple of these boards in half. If you follow the plans, you'll notice that the plans produce a 6 foot by 3 foot raised garden bed. That's not exactly true because obviously we cut off a 1/2 inch dog ear there at the top, and our remaining board will be cut in half from that. So it won't quite be 3 feet and it won't quite be 6 feet, but who cares? I didn't pay a lot for this, so that should work out. Anyway, so 2 boards on each side stay long, so that's 4 boards that stay long, and then 2 boards on each side get cut in half. Since I'll be cutting this board in half, that's one of the 2. This will create 2 of the 2 boards on one side, so I need 2. I have a total of 6 boards for the project. 4 stay long, 2 get cut in half. There, I said it. Anyway, let me hurry and cut those real quick, and we'll get on with this. Alright, so just one more thing we need to cut. I've got some regular 2x4s that I'm going to use for the corner joints. I know they're not pressure treated, but I'm opposed to having pressure treated wood near my veggies. So I know they don't use arsenic anymore to keep them from rotting, but I also don't want whatever they're using as a replacement, like copper or whatever, in the mix. So I'm going to use regular 2x4s. I'm going to screw these boards to regular 2x4s, and if they rot away, I guess I'll go buy some new ones and put them in their place. That way I just have regular pine 2x4s to worry about. So the next step is to cut a bunch of 2x4s to 19 inches. If you cut them to 19 inches, that gives you enough, that gives you 10 inches or 11 inches to cover the boards here above ground and screw into them. And that gives you 8 inches below ground so that this thing won't move around in the soil. So it's the right number, and you can get, what, 5 of them? Maybe 4, I'll do the math, out of a 2x4. So it worked out to be the best use. So I'm going to measure up some 19 inches on some 2x4s. That's our next step. Sweet, I was right. You get 5 out of an 8 foot 2x4 at 19 inches. So that means I only need two 2x4s to finish this project. One, if you're only doing one raised garden bed, but I bought enough material. That's 2 3-foot sections and 2 6-foot sections. So I'm going to have enough to do 2 whole raised garden beds for my $25. All right, let me finish cutting. I have a second board like this to cut to get to a total of 10 of these, so I'll be right back. All right, now that my 19-inch 2x4s are cut, just laying out one of them on here on the table, and this is how it's going to look. I'm going to take these 6-foot boards, and I'm going to put some screws in down here, and then I've centered this at the 35.5-inch mark. So this board here is centered at 35.5 so that it will be in the middle. And then, of course, I've got the other side. So now I just need to put some screws in. This is a budget project, so I'm using drywall screws. You'd probably want something that would stand the test of time if you were intending this project to last more than a couple of years, which this is just an experiment on my part. So I'm going to use the drywall screws. Anyway, so let me screw up this connection, and we'll move along from there. Well, I had to set up a second table. Turns out that they won't fit on one table, and I didn't want to do it on the ground. So the next step after you get the two 6-foot sections built is to attach the end cap cedar boards. So I'm just going to line these up and screw them in from the side. One thing I forgot to mention, normally I drill pilot holes because cedar is sort of a hard wood to drill through without cracking it. But these boards that I bought were wet. They were like, I wouldn't say sopping wet, but they were near that. Matter of fact, as I've been drilling into them, they've been weeping. The water's been pooling around the screws. So I'm not so worried about cracking these as I would be. So I didn't drill pilot holes. But if your wood's dry, by all means drill the pilot holes, because otherwise you'll put some big old cracks in these sideboards, and they don't have a lot of strength as it is. They're fence pickets. So if you start your raised garden bed with a crack in it, you'll probably be replacing that board. So drill your pilot holes or get wet wood like I did. Anyway, let me screw this section on, and we'll be ready for the big reveal. Wow, that's pretty swanky. So you're looking at it in its inverted position. When it's put on the ground, the sticks get put into the ground 8 inches, and the remaining sits above board, and you fill it with nice soil and put your veggies in it. So this is the somewhat finished project. I still need to scrape away some sod outside, and that's probably a second video, but let's get some numbers. I have a Alright, so the depth, I'll bring you along. How's that? The depth looks like it closes in just a hair over 11 inches tall. So you'll have 11 inches and of course if you put soil down 6 inches, I mean, you could get as much as you want, really. As far as width, I'm just gonna take a rough measure. So I knew coming in that it was going to come in under 3 inches. Looks like we're at 34. Oh, wow, that's really terrible, iPhone. Let's see. Just over 34 and a half. 34 and a quarter, looks like. No, it's a smidge less than that. Anyway, still not too bad. And you're only missing an inch to call it 3 feet. Now I'm just going to stretch the full length here. Let's see what number we get. Ooh, that's nice. Looks like we're just 2/8, maybe a 1/4 inch off of. Wow, I'm not getting any. Anyway, 6 foot. Looks like I actually get my 6 foot garden bed. Sweet. Anyway, finished project. Look for a video of me installing this next. because I think that's where I'm headed. As for this video, I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.